C.S. Lewis's masterpiece, The Great Divorce, tells the story of a guy who ends up in hell. We never learn his name. He's just called the narrator. In the first chapter, the narrator gets on a bus. In hell, there's this bus that comes once a day and takes people who want to leave hell up to heaven. When our guy gets off the bus, he notices something strange about his hands. To be specific, they were see-through, transparent, ghostly. He had in fact become a phantom. But not that kind of phantom. He hears a ghost yelling at a solid person. I know what you're thinking. What on earth is a solid person? So here we go. The people who live in the presence of God are not see-through like the ghosts that came up from hell on the bus. The solid people are their most real self. Anyway, our narrator overhears a ghost yelling at a solid guy. You live in heaven? You're a murderer. The solid guy looks down and says, God has forgiven me. But the ghost didn't like this one bit. He just kept complaining over and over again. I was a good person. I'm supposed to go to heaven. That's the place the good people go. You were a bad person. You're supposed to be in hell, not me. Our solid guy tries to explain. Heaven is not a place you go because you did more good deeds than bad, or completed a certain number of good tasks. Heaven is God's home. It's where we go if we want to be with God. He's not going to force you to be with him. The ghost doesn't buy this explanation, so the solid guy tries again. God's love for you is deeper than the greatest love stories ever told. He loves you more than any parent has ever loved their child. He wants to scoop you up in an embrace, keep you in heaven forever. Listen, dude, there's no naughty or nice list. It's rather a question of, did I involve God in my life? Do I even want this relationship? Did you ever talk to him or try to make him part of your day? Ask him to be with you when you take a test? Play in a soccer game or even while driving your car? When was the last time you put down your phone and just stood in the presence of God? Be honest with yourself. What did your relationship with God look like? Did you have one? At the last we hear of this ghost, he turns around and gets back on the bus. He chooses to go back to hell. He cannot reconcile that a murderer got into heaven and he, who never did anything as bad as murder, ended up in hell. To him, heaven was his earned right, instead of a gift, an invitation to live with God forever. The story continues with solid people helping the ghost journey towards God. We come to find out that each ghost has something unique holding them back from a relationship with God. One of the last ghosts we meet has a lizard riding on his shoulder. He's walking up the mountain to see God, and then the lizard whispers something in his ear and he turns around to go back to the bus. But don't worry, an angel shows up and asks the guy, hey, you want me to kill that thing? And the guy feels kind of bad, so he says, no, it's okay, I'll keep it in check. The lizard starts whispering in the guy's ear, don't let it kill me, I've shown you the best pleasures of life. The angel frowns. You've been in this field for many years, running to meet God and then turning around to go back to the bus. All because of suggestions you want to follow made by that lizard. But those base pleasures that at first gave you bits of happiness are now addictions that have enslaved you. The man closed his eyes, tears streamed down his cheeks. He looks at the angel, back at the lizard, and says, help me destroy what has kept me from God all these years. The ghost throws the lizard to the ground, and the angel crushes it dead. Suddenly, the guy becomes solid. He becomes real. Free of the lizard, he can see God in the trees, in the sky, and feel God's presence everywhere and in everything. Lewis's fiction about heaven and hell is just a story, a metaphor. We do not really believe that there is an actual bus that takes us from hell to heaven. The Great Divorce was written to help us ponder the question, what is holding me back from a relationship with my Lord and God?